community. The invitations to prestigious events like the Chancellor Investiture serve as a testament to the respect and recognition our fraternity commands on campus. As we stand on the cusp of a new page in our fraternity's history, let us reaffirm our commitment to the values and principles that define Sigma Phi Epsilon. Let us continue to strive for excellence in all endeavors, lead with integrity and compassion, and uphold the legacy of brotherhood and service that has been entrusted to us. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for your unwavering support, dedication, and brotherly love. Together, we will continue to write the story of the Wisconsin Theta chapter of Sigma Phi Epsilon with pride, purpose, and passion. Yours are virtue, diligence, and brotherly love. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, Parker. Now to start off undergraduate awards, I call Brother Carter Forsyth to the stage. Carter is a mechanical engineer graduating this spring. He also will be continuing his journey this summer as he takes on the role as regional director. Please welcome Carter Forsyth.
Tonight, we will be awarding 3 young men from our chapter who have exemplified our cardinal principles of virtue, diligence, and brotherly love, and one brother who is an outstanding SigEp and has exemplified all 3 of these cardinal principles.
Virtue is to behave with decency as befits the day, to keep all your relationships honest. This brother always stands for what he believes is right, even if it is unpopular. He is honest and trustworthy, and if you give him a task, he's guaranteed to complete it. For outstanding exhibition of this cardinal principle of virtue, this award is presented to Brother C.J. Meyer.
All right, I'm technically supposed to give these awards, but diligence is to use your time wisely, scorning difficulty, and preserving unto the attainment that gives life its zest and flavor. This brother takes his academics seriously. Ryan Bergman. The final award, Outstanding SigEp, encompasses all 3 of the previous principles of virtue, diligence, and brotherly love. This brother has excelled at managing the day-to-day activities of our fraternity, showing the rest of campus how good he and SigEp is as a whole, and still managing to have quite a pronounced social and professional life while still in college. His constant drive toward excellence has rubbed off on much of the chapter and bettered us as a whole. Everyone has learned something from him that will not be forgotten. For outstanding exhibition of all 3 of the fraternity's cardinal principles of virtue, diligence, and brotherly love, the Outstanding SigEp Brother Award is presented to Brother Jace Joyner. I now welcome Vice President Ty Meyer back to the stage.
Thank you, CJ, and congratulations to all those who won awards. Next, it is important to recognize that it would be hard to get done what we do without the incredible support and backing of our Alumni Volunteer Committee. One of these incredible members is Jeff Pingle. Jeff graduated in fall of 2022. However, he hasn't been a stranger and always enlightens us with his old stories and sometimes good advice. To recognize a couple members of the AVC, I welcome Jeff Pingle to the stage to present the AVC Awards on behalf of the Scholarship and Awards Committee.
For the record, my advice is always spectacular. This year, we decided to recognize more people for the fantastic work that they've done, not only for the AVC, but for the undergraduate chapter as well. The Wisconsin Theta dream cannot survive without the effort everyone puts in. Tonight, I would like to recognize some exemplary individuals that make us damn proud to be a SigEp. Wisconsin Theta's AVC has done some commendable work in 2023 and 2024 so far. None of the 2023's progress would be possible without the effort of many incredible individuals. This individual was nominated not only for his performance as a long-term balanced band steward, but also for his presence and dedication to the undergraduate chapter. The 2024 Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Brother Brad Pulsar. Wisconsin Theta has had, and will continue to have incredible mentors that push our dream onward, even after they graduate. Mentors shape who we will become, how we lead, and how effective we are at change. This mentor has stood by Wisconsin Theta for many years, teaching undergraduates life skills that they will remember throughout their lifetime. This mentor may always say he's honored to know the undergrads, but the honor is all ours for knowing him. The 2024 Mentor of the Year Award goes to Renaissance brother, Chef John. Must be busy doing a job or something. Service to our community gives definition to gentlemen who aspire to be more. Community service shows the community that this fraternity is different. One undergrad here tonight has shown his dedication to his community hour after hour and in many different lights. The 2024 Outstanding Servant Award goes to Andy Mills for his unwavering dedication to community service. Lee Nathan Zastro graduated from UW-Platteville in 2003 following completion of his degree in computer science and business administration. Lee was extensively involved in First Robotics, SUFAC, the College Democrats, and our beloved own fraternity. Lee served in various capacities in each organization, always adding his own personal touch based on his values, beliefs, and leadership. As a devoted member of SigEp, Lee lived the values of virtue, diligence, and brotherly love, while striving to be a leader, scholar, athlete, of course, gentleman. These values enabled Lee to give years of service to UW-Platteville as a student leader. Shortly after graduation, Lee suffered an unexpected health complication and passed away in his sleep at his home. For Lee's outstanding service to UW-Platteville and the surrounding community and his impeccable character, we honor his memory by awarding a scholarship in his name to the brother of the Wisconsin Theta chapter of SigEp, who best exemplifies the qualities and characteristics that made Lee Nathan Zastro the great man and brother he was. This scholarship would not be, frankly, not in existence without donations from our AVC. So thank you to Deb Meyer for putting together some funds for us to fund the scholarship. This brother served on the SigEp Executive Board as VP Comms, is the president and volunteer of the Pioneer Pantry, and is involved in many other organizations including SUFAC, Ruby's Pantry, UWP, Dining Service Marketing, American Marketing Association, and the Accounting and Finance Club. This brother is always there to lend a helping hand, not only to his brothers, but the community. For his impeccable character, Andy Mills is the winner of the 2024 Lee Nathan Zastro Scholarship. Thank you all for your dedication to not only this fraternity, but also one another. We all lift each other to higher standard time and time again, proving to everyone that SigEps are different and that we make meaningful impacts on those around us.
Thank you, Jeff, and another congratulations to all those who won. Now I present Dawson Van Winkle with a special award. Dawson graduated in spring of 2022 and currently is AVC Vice President. Whilst in the chapter, he was Vice President of Recruitment and President. Please welcome Dawson Van Winkle.
Hello, everyone. The Outstanding New Volunteer Award is awarded to individuals that have made a significant impact on the chapter they volunteer with. This individual has been impacting our chapter far before we were blessed enough to have them as a volunteer. I know this volunteer has impacted several undergrads and alumni during their college days, including myself. Simply put, there wasn't another school staff member that impacted my life as much as they did, and they still impact my life to this day. This volunteer pushed me to be the absolute best version of myself and had me strive to bring positive change to this university, and I couldn't have done it without them. Not only were they there for me when I was up, but they were there when I was down and supported me in any way they possibly could. I know for a fact this volunteer did not only do this for me, but so many other people on campus, including several of our own brothers. This volunteer was also able to get me and countless other brothers involved with an absolutely doozy of a job, SUFAC. SUFAC and SigEp are tied together, and I think that really is due to this volunteer. And even though SUFAC was unbelievably stressful at times, this volunteer made it worth it. At this point, most of you know who I'm talking about, and that, of course, is Becky Haas, who is unfortunately not with us today, but she's not here to accept the award. But this here is the award. Since becoming a volunteer for our organization, she has put on countless events, such as helping undergrads de-stress with her amazing dogs, Stone and Phoenix, during finals. She has also put on hot sauce making events that I think everyone can agree has some killer hot sauce, which you can order online if you're interested. She'd probably appreciate that. Becky has also attended the undergrad's MemDev meetings, which has only added value to the undergraduate experience and helped the chapter thrive. However, above all else, Becky has been able to add so much guidance and thought into our chapter. We simply would not be where we are today without the help of Becky has offered us in the past few years. I cannot wait to see how she continues to affect not only this chapter, but future brothers as time goes on. Thank you, Becky, and congratulations on the much-deserved Outstanding New Volunteer Award.
Next, I'd like to invite Ian Seidler to the stage. Ian graduated in spring of 2023, yet for some reason keeps coming back here. Only joking, Ian. While in the chapter, he served on a number of cabinets, was a member of the Standards Board, served as chaplain and president. This year, he also took on the role of chapter counselor and works closely with our exec board and chapter to help us reach our highest potential. Please welcome Ian Seidler.
Thank you. Can we get another round of applause for Jeff and Dawson for being on the Scholarship and Awards Committee? Really appreciate the work that we've done, and I think we're making a pretty good impact. And I heard Jeff got a really rough transition too. He just got this role like back in February. The jerk before him took on another position that was higher. Who would even do that? If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was me. I'm the jerk. So we have one final award to present tonight on behalf of the ABC. University partners play an integral role in the co-curricular implementation of fraternity programs such as ours. Local campus partners assist in chapter operations and further advance the fraternal movement on their campus and form a true partnership in higher education. Each year, Sigma Phi Epsilon recognizes university staff who have played an outstanding role in the development of a chapter and, in turn, the fraternal movement. To receive this award, a member of the university staff must be nominated by an undergraduate, alumni, or current volunteer. Let's turn the clock back 2 years. Sean McGrath, Tim Hyam, and myself had just returned home from the 2022 Ruck Leadership Academy. After a week-long session of SigEp's Top Gun program, we were analyzing every aspect of the chapter as it was in 2022. One area that we thought we lacked was a true connection to campus administration. We knew what we wanted to do and how we could positively impact the campus, but we did not know exactly what the campus wanted from us. Then a perfect opportunity arose. A new interim chancellor came to Platteville. We decided that it was time to start creating a connection. So Sean reached out to the new chancellor, we scheduled a Zoom meeting, and we just wanted to introduce ourselves. Well, it went a little further than that. This individual was super excited to meet with us, hear about all the wonderful things SigEp Wisconsin Theta was doing, but most importantly, she challenged us. She wanted us to set BHAGs. If you've never met Tammy, those are big, hairy, audacious goals. But most importantly, she wanted us to foster a feeling of belonging at UW-Platteville. She wanted us to make sure that all members of Sigma Phi Epsilon felt like they belong in not only SigEp, but at UW-Platteville and in higher education. Now, that meeting alone is worth the nomination for this award. But let's jump back to today. Now, as a faculty fellow, this individual has hosted brothers at her home, invited the chapter to investiture, presented on various wellness topics, and fostered a strong connection between UW-Platteville and Sigma Phi Epsilon Wisconsin Theta. On behalf of SigEp, the Wisconsin Theta AVC, and the undergraduate chapter, it is my honor to present the University Partner of the Year to Chancellor Tammy Avetovich.
Thank you, Ian, and a huge congratulations to Chancellor Avetovich. Next, I'd like to invite Tom Barton to the stage. Tom has been an active advocate for Wisconsin Theta and has come around to our chapter several times to give his life and business advice for an event we like to call Barton Spartans. He was a member of SigEp Iowa Eta and graduated in 1989. Please give a warm welcome to Tom Barton.
Yeah, let's get Barton up on stage. He's the old guy starting to lose his filter a little bit. He'll probably say some outrageous stuff that'll make us laugh. This is great. Thanks for having me. I love you guys. I really do. There is no room full of SigEps anywhere that's any better than what this room right here has to offer. It's been a busy day for Barb and me. There's a reason. This is not a Caitlin Clark thing. There's a reason why I have on these black and gold shoes and my 2024 Paris Olympic shirt here. Barb and I spend a lot of time supporting Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling. Anybody in here a high school, college, or international wrestling fan? Okay, yeah, we have several people. So today something pretty important happened. At the Olympic trials, one of our Hawkeye kids, and we're friends with him, friends with his family, a kid named Spencer Lee, advanced to represent the United States at 57 kilograms at the Paris Games. He does have to win a match in Istanbul, Turkey in a few weeks yet, but he only has to finish first, second, or third there, and the competition isn't as tough, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is, this is a kid that we've known for a long time. And when he was your age, he won 3 NCAA titles, the last of which he won with no ACLs. And Spencer Lee is an example, and Barb and I have gotten to know these kids, of just how much we can achieve when we don't make excuses for not achieving. As soon as he won that championship, coming right off the mat, they asked him about his ACL, and he said, yeah, it was torn. His good one was torn. But he said, excuses are for wusses. And they made a T-shirt out of it that sold thousands and thousands of copies of the T-shirt. And I think about that kid, and I think about Barb and me, and the money and the time and the energy that we invest in supporting that Olympic training group at Iowa. It's called the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, which is an adjunct program to the wrestling program, but they groom Olympians. And I thought, it's the same thing that we're doing here. It's the same thing that mom and dad in the room are doing for their kids. They want their kids to pursue dreams. They want you to pursue dreams and opportunities that maybe they themselves never had. And that's very, very powerful, very powerful. And, Ty mentioned the Barton Spartans thing. And if nothing else with that group, I hope that we come away thinking, maybe I can think just a little bigger than I have before. Because there's no reason not to. We have no idea what our capacity is for success, because nobody ever reaches their true capacity for success. So it's been a good day that way. Great way to start the evening. Tammy Yvetovich, I guess, is not here, but they did indeed host the chapter for pizza and wellness programming this past week. I do feel obligated. I do understand why she is not here. Ty, would you stand, please? So I guess we should all know Ty is actually the guy who stole the Yvetovich's silverware when he was over at their house. So that's kind of a problem. That's okay, Ty. You can stay standing. Andy Mills, where's Andy? Andy, would you stand, please? We actually had to talk Andy out of kidnapping their cat Milo, so we really don't trust him either. So if we could keep a close watch on these two, stay standing. Pedro, could you stand up, please? So on top of all this, I guess Pedro set up a technology geofence, or I don't even know what the hell a geofence is, but he set one up around their home, and now he knows all of the Yvetovich's banking, TikTok, and sports betting information. We're all too afraid of Pedro to do anything about it because we're afraid of what he'll do to us. But if you could all take a good look at Ty, at Andy, and at Pedro and realize that these are the guys that we kind of have to keep an eye on at WI-Theta. Thank you. But no, I really do appreciate Chancellor Yvetovich being involved with the program. Right now I have us at about number 8 in the Barton SigEp power rankings. We'd be higher, but Andy, Ty, and Pedro. Like they say in Animal House, hey, we need the dues. So yeah. Tonight I'm going to talk about SigEp and WI-Theta past, present, and future. SigEp present. I'm heading to Las Vegas in a week and a half for SigEp's Board of Governors donor weekend to mingle with the mucky mucks. That'll be fun. Next thing, I guess not one, but 2 chapter brothers from here. I'm not sure which ones, but 2 of our brothers are headed to our SigEp National Frank Ruck Leadership Institute in Richmond, Virginia. The chosen brothers are always our very best and brightest in the chapter. our very best personification of virtue, diligence, and brotherly love, and the best we have to offer in terms of values, ethics, and excellence. I forgot who's going this year, but would those two guys stand, please? Would the two guys going to Ruck please stand? Oh no. Oh no. Lock up your silverware and your family pets, Virginia. Oh boy. In other news, you can sit down now. Yeah. In other news, University of Texas SigEp Glenn Powell of Top Gun Maverick fame is starring in a remake of the movie Twister. Cal Santa Barbara brother Scott Carr, I've told you about him. He's Erin Andrews' attorney. You know, Erin Andrews and her $55 million settlement against Marriott Corporation. She's on Fox NFL football on Sundays. So our brother Scott Carr is her attorney. But the relevance tonight, his across the street neighbor is legendary Wisconsin sports hero Christian Yelich. But I guess he's moved. Something about Scott Carr having too many SigEp parties at his house or something like that. So I thought that was funnier than that, but I didn't. Okay. Probably no chance of that. Scott's my age, so it means he's in bed by about 8 o'clock. I don't know if Jeremy Baker is watching this on our live stream, but I guess Baker lives in Canada or Rhineland or whichever's further north. His daughter, Caitlin, sold 1,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies, and a few of which were to people other than Jeremy. Our very own Chris Yergis. Chris, could you stand up, please? Chris Yergis, who was the race engineer for the legendary Michael McDowell team victory in the craziest Daytona 500 victory ever a couple years ago. Also worked for Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, and now he's with Team Penske, so he's a big deal. He is reportedly, I have it on good word, he is now if you ever follow Chris on Facebook, he always posts about the same rock band. I guess he's burned out on Metallica, and the word is he now prefers Justin Bieber and the Insane Clown Posse. So just the latest. Okay, thanks, Chris. Jace Joyner and Carter Forseth, could you please stand? Where's Jason Carter? Yeah. This is the first time in chapter history we had a regional director hired by our national headquarters, and we've landed 2. I've since learned that the real story is that neither one of them could get real jobs, and they've thus decided to become permanent frat guys. No, seriously, we are all very, very proud. It's a big deal to be an RD, and you know, they're going to be coaching SigEp chapters all across the country, and you two guys are exactly what I feel the national fraternity needs. So let's hear it for these two guys. Lots of great things. You can sit, thanks. Yeah, sit down. You're going to be doing a lot of sitting over the next year when you're behind the wheel. So SigEp passed. We launched in January 1997 and were chartered in 2000. Shortly after I lied to the chapter about having only 1 school year left to get the necessary manpower to get chartered. So in 1997, true story, we started with 14 members, and several semesters later we had grown the chapter to 14. But we became 40 pretty damn quick when we thought we were done. And they were 40 terrific guys, so it worked. But recruitment was a real problem for us back then. Speaking of recruitment, about 10 years later, the chapter told me, you know, we had a great chapter retreat. And I said, so what came out of it? What's the big thing? Well, we decided we're not going to work so hard at recruitment because, you know, guys are kind of burned out on recruitment. I said, oh, yeah? Well, we're down to 18 guys. I'm here to tell you, nobody's burned out on recruitment. Right after that, not surprisingly, we were put on notice to be closed for manpower. That's about where we bottomed, and we've been on the upswing ever since. And we were good for a long, long time before we won a Buchanan Cup. We were actually pretty good when we were on notice to be closed, too. We were just below the manpower minimum, truth be known. But let me tell you, I haunted my headquarters buddies and my national board buddies by always referring to us as the best chapter in SigEp history to never win a Buchanan Cup. Well, now we have 2 straight Buchanan Cups, given to about the top 10% of our chapters for being truly outstanding in all facets of chapter operations. SigEp present, truly we are winning. But our SigEp future, will our greatness last? 2 Buck Cups, big housing plans, the district governor is one of ours, 2 RDs hired, winning Greek Week, killing it at homecoming, UWP chancellor, a part of the SigEp experience. Are we still on the way up? Or have we peaked and the decline has already begun? Strong organizations die. Not just fraternities, we see it in businesses, universities, school districts. I'm a 5-time school board guy from Dubuque. Charitable organizations, sports teams, music acts. I mean, think about the 1990s Chicago Bulls. We haven't really heard from them since. The Green Bay Packers in the 1960s gave way to a tough period. My beloved New England Patriots for 20 years. Well, we're not so hot right now. The BlackBerry. Think about Cirque du Soleil. Blockbusters, Borders, AOL, Harvey Weinstein's movie company, Sears. Yeah, Harvey's had some problems. Sears, Toys R Us, Vanilla Ice, Radio Shack, cable TV, Circuit City, Netscape. No one is permanently safe. Here's what goes wrong. There's actually research on this, the things that go wrong. Real briefly, here's what goes wrong. Number one, you get cocky, arrogant, a feeling that you can take success for granted. Number two, you lose your discipline and get sloppy in your execution. You neglect the blocking and the tackling that got us where we are. Number three, you disregard the obvious warning signs that we're going downhill, or you blame outside forces rather than looking in the mirror. A lot of excuse making. Number four, you grasp for salvation, you announce sweeping change, firing silver bullets with cool new hype, while continuing to ignore the blocking and tackling, and you turn to leaders who offer nothing but a lot of happy talk. And number five, you become irrelevant or die. For SigEp at UW-P, it'd look like this. We're awesome. Failure can't happen to us. Recruitment and manpower, that's someone else's job. We don't need to listen to our AVC. We sure don't listen to that Barton, that guy from Dubuque. What a blowhard. If he didn't buy us pizza, we'd never listen to that jackass. You know, Pavlov nailed it. You know, the Pavlov with the dog, you ring the bell, the dog slobbers. With college guys, I'm telling you, you shake some pizza in front of them and the dog slobbers. You get anything out of a college guy with some pizza. Chef John could whip up his most famous dish. The guys that still prefer Domino's, it's something else. The attitude would be we can skimp on standards, alcohol rules, whatever. But bad things could never happen to us. We don't need to care what administration thinks of us. On and on and on and on. That's what it would look like here. And I know it's true because I have personally seen it. I've had a front row seat dozens of times for this kind of a decline at SigEp chapters. Northern Iowa, it still hurts for me to talk about it. There are some days when I can actually get tears in my eyes. That's another chapter that I started. It's my son's chapter. And we were a dynasty. 10 Buchanan Cups in like 14 opportunities, including 4 straight. And they just quit. There was no incident. Nothing got them in trouble. They just quit. We wound up with the wrong guys there. They weren't having any fun. They didn't know how to make their own fun. And they just quit. Loras College, 7 straight Buchanan Cups back in the day. University of Iowa, 3 straight Buck Cups. They're strong today, but at one point, those guys at Iowa Gamma went from 113 guys to 4 the easy way, if you know what I mean. I mean, Iowa is a drinking school with a football problem. Let me read that again. Iowa is a drinking school with a football problem. Okay. I thought it was funnier than that. There's another one. One of our universities, who is a host university for one of our best chapters, they've gone from 25,000 students to 13,000 students, all while the vice president of enrollment was allowed to work remotely 700 miles away. Slip sliding away. Our university fail? Can't happen there. At least they fired that vice president of enrollment in December. I'd love to have a come to Jesus with their chancellor and regents about how they let it get to that point in the first place. Way to go, Barton. We're having a perfectly good celebration and you killed all the fun with this serious message. You'd think I was a damn engineer or something, you know? I got more laughs at that than I did with my Iowa joke. That's good. The good news is there's a blueprint for how to stay great, and it's, are you ready for this? Here it is. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. Keep challenging yourself to innovate and be better while sticking with the values, culture, and actions that got us here in the first place. Give me good, hungry, hardworking kids from Neenah, Hartford, New Berlin, Sussex, Elk Mound, Baraboo, and Darlington, Wisconsin, Polo, Illinois, Peterson, Minnesota, and our UWP and SigEp experience can produce results that will rival or surpass even the Ivy League counterparts that we have in Boston, New York, Chicago, LA, Dallas. Lord knows our SigEp experience at elite campuses has been less than great. I mean, guys, seriously, an important takeaway from my message tonight is the elite schools have nothing on you. Your parents need to know that. Our administrators here at UWP need to know that. I know these kids. I know what they've done with different experiences. They have nothing on you. We are so much better here. SigEp at MIT, a disaster. Yale, a disaster. Johns Hopkins, disaster. University of Chicago, Penn, Dartmouth, Duke, Georgetown, forget about it. But how about them Badgers? We're going back again. We're if it doesn't work the first 50 times, we're going back again, and it's the fourth time since I've been around. And I really wish them well. I mean, Dave Gowenda up there, Barry Norham, Dave Hogg, I love their chapter volunteers. They're good friends of mine. But somebody somewhere has to say, we have standards, we have policies, and we're going to adhere to them. It's just that simple. And I remember back in the day, our chapter here at Platteville was kind of the junior chapter in the state of Wisconsin. Well, not anymore. And I just really hope that those folks, when they go back and reestablish the chapter there, that they understand the standard in Wisconsin has been raised because of what we do right here. What these elite institutions are missing is you. They're missing you, and they're missing your parents with the value systems that your parents bring to the table. That's what they're missing. They're missing your PhDs and your GSDs. What is a PhD? Let's see if anybody ever listens to me. What does a PhD stand for? Kyle. Poor, hungry, and driven. That's the attitude that we've always had here. What is a GSD? Miller. Get stuff done. Get stuff done. I'll tell you what, you give me a tough, hungry kid from UW-Platteville who is poor, hungry, and driven and gets stuff done, and I will take on any Ivy League graduate anywhere. We're simply better. We still have a lot of things to work on before I call our Toledo chapter and tell them that we leapfrogged them. Toledo, by the way, is always #1 in the Barton Power rankings. It's not one of these Ivy League chapters at Penn, Columbia, or Dartmouth. It's grease under their fingernails kids at Toledo, which is a carbon copy of Platteville by nature. How do we get better? We tap into the SigEp network. We do mentoring and leadership development with some of our best alumni across the country. We could do that. Go to these SigEp national programs, think big, and find ways to get better. In closing, have we peaked, or are we still poor, hungry, and driven? We have an opportunity, folks, SigEp undergrads, alumni, parents, campus administration. Right here at UWP, all the pieces are in place to take an already exceptional UWP and SigEp experience and make it the best college experience on planet Earth. Understand me, I don't mean #2. I really mean the best college experience on planet Earth, right here at UW-Platteville with Sigma Phi Epsilon as the ace up the sleeve. I'm serious as a heart attack when I say that we could be the best. I mean, some college somewhere has to have the best experience on earth, right? Somebody is. We may not know who they are, but somebody is. Why not us right here? We just have to choose to do it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Tom. As previously mentioned by Parker, our chapter was selected to participate in 2 national pilots. As part of one of them, we now have public ceremonies to celebrate progression through challenges in the BMP. Tonight, we'll be performing the new Brother Mentor public ceremony to recognize Ryan, Niles, Brody, Josh, and Brady's completion of the Epsilon Challenge. Brother President.
Will the ritual officers please take their positions? We shall proceed with the Brother Mentor celebration. I call upon brothers Niles Hammer, Ryan Bergman, Brody Dawson, Brady Heinke, and Joshua Hua. These brothers have completed the Epsilon Challenge and are entering the Brother Mentor Challenge. Each has continually served our fraternity and honored their oath of obligation. Let us elevate these brothers and celebrate their journeys.
Please rise. Ruler of the universe, grant that our time here together may inspire us to work with singleness of heart as servants for the common good. Grant that, through this brotherhood, we may be given strength in mind, body, and spirit. Renew in all of us the ideals of Sigma Phi Epsilon, that we may continue to live honorable, just, and upright lives. Amen. Please be seated.
My friends, today you take the next step along your journey of brotherhood. You are recognized as a teacher of men, a counselor, a servant leader, a brother mentor. Like beacons, you provide a guiding light for your brothers. Your journey has been fruitful, and you have proven your continued belief in our fraternity's high purpose, lofty ideals, sublime principles as you answer the demand of unselfishness and altruistic service. But your role as a brother in Sigma Phi Epsilon will not end when you leave the academic walls. Rather, it takes on a new significance. As your journey of brotherhood leads you ever closer to graduation and into the ranks of our alumni, you are called to continue to lead and serve our fraternity, passing on your knowledge and guiding younger generations. The fraternity, then, is a circle, older to younger, younger to older. Let us hear now from Brother Ian Seidler, our chapter counselor.
Each of us has made a covenant with one another that we will follow the ideals of virtue, diligence, and brotherly love for all the days of our lives. In serving these ideals, we must also lead, and in leading, we must also serve. As a rising brother mentor, you have been invested with much knowledge and bear the full responsibility to live out this covenant without reservation. Those who come after you will need your guidance along their path. As a trusted servant leader, will you help them on that journey?
During your rite of brotherhood, your brothers recorded your oath of obligation. The wealth of our brotherhood is a gift that must be shared with all people, so that the bonds of Sigma Phi Epsilon can grow strong. I particularly remind you of one portion of your oath. Please repeat after me. I vow upon my honor to foster, promote, and help every worthy endeavor of Sigma Phi Epsilon, and without making unjust demands upon myself, I will give without reservation of my time and talents in an endeavor to realize the principles, ideals, and aspirations of this fraternity.
In the 5 celebration, you were reminded that being an engaged and effective member of the chapter is essential to building and sustaining a vibrant brotherhood and to ensure the future stability of the chapter. You made a commitment to contribute to the betterment of this chapter and its members.
In the Epsilon celebration, your candle was lit from the chapter flame. You were once again called upon to give of your time and talents to empower your brothers and enable them to shine on their own. As your flame lit the candle of the brother next to you, you assumed the responsibility to be a leader amongst your brothers and to give yourself so that we could all grow.
The challenge of a brother mentor is that of a servant leader. For it is said, whoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. In ancient Greece, this challenge and the term mentor itself is reflected in the story of Odysseus' loyal servant. When Odysseus left his kingdom, he entrusted the well-being of his son to his faithful servant named Mentor. Although Mentor was not of noble birth, he was wise and loyal. Wherever Odysseus' son despaired, Mentor was there to guide him. You, my brothers, are mentors. You have been responsible for Sigma Phi Epsilon since it was first put in your care, yet your duty is not complete.
We ask you now to pause and reflect on a specific commitment you will uphold, be it one area of our chapter you want to improve or one specific task you want to accomplish before you graduate. Take a moment, one at a time, to share your commitment with those here assembled.
I commit to upholding the pillars of the Balanced Man program, pillars that this fraternity believes to be the building blocks of giving your life purpose. These pillars include equal rights and responsibilities, continuous development, accountability, mentoring, displaying versatility, and brotherly love every day. I commit to being a beacon of these values, never ending strive to become the balanced man, as well as caring others.
I commit myself to assist the chapter wherever necessary. To assist the safety of recruitment, the Balanced Man Scholarship. This and many other things I bind myself to. I promise to help every brother succeed to the best of my ability, even after graduation. For I am the best of life.
The commitment that I would like to do is to help improve the mental health of our relationship. I will do this to help emphasize my self-respect, chaplain mentor, things like counseling therapy stuff, and also brother binding. Also, with my role in family work, I can check up on how brothers are doing and help them at any given moment. I take myself to be a brother, well in the future, and use my roles to commit to the other, provide academic support, build confidence, and develop a community. Also, help all leaders and that and by working together, everybody should all guide overall, and do whatever I can to bring back to the public.
Your time and preparation is nearly complete, and your life's work is in front of you. Your brothers may not always know how diligently you follow the cardinal principles or uphold your oath of obligation, staying true to your commitment as a brother mentor. Likewise, you will not always know how diligently your brothers do the same. This gap may only widen when we leave academic walls one day. But recall the true meaning of our token and sign. Our Creator, who watches over and between us when we are apart, will know us both. Please come up on stage and affirm the commitment of brother mentor by advancing me the token and sign. And now, the junior and senior marshal will mark you with a ducal crown as a reminder of your commitment that you have made today here as brother mentor.
Let us pray that our brother's heart be wholly devoted to keeping his commitment.
Please rise. Almighty God, let our brother be inspired to aid his fellow men in times of need. For it is said that you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your brother, but you shall open your hand wide unto him, and surely lend him that which he needs. O Lord, watch over our brother and keep him ever mindful of his duties, to remember his oath of obligation, to follow the teachings of the ritual, to uphold virtue, diligence, and brotherly love for the betterment of himself and his brothers, that his lifelong service may bring everlasting glory to Sigma Phi Epsilon. Amen. Please be seated.
To strive toward the ideal represented by the motto of our fraternity is to invite many failures. Yet, you must persevere through failure. As you improve the world in which you live, you will yourself improve. As you honor this covenant, you will discover the best parts of your nature and serve the best virtues of Sigma Phi Epsilon. In doing so, you will become a servant leader, a counselor, your brother's mentor. The spirit of our founders lives on across time, within and through you. May you ever advance the true meaning of the letters Sigma, Phi, and Epsilon, as was revealed to you in the Rite of Brotherhood. Brothers, let us now recognize brother mentors Ryan Bergman, Niles Hammer, Brody Dawson, Brady Heinke, Joshua Hua.
We'll take him all the way down. You have to stay up here.
To wrap up tonight, I would like to take some time to appreciate and recognize this semester's graduating seniors. To start off, we have brother Jace Joyner. As the 354th member of Wisconsin Theta, Jace has worked tirelessly in this chapter as Standards Board member, chaplain, alumni, back to undergrad, VP of MemDev, and countless other roles on the cabinets and campus as a whole. Not to mention, he is one of the 2 seniors who will be continuing their SigEp journey as a regional director this year. Please give it up for Jace Joyner.
All right, we've got a lot of seniors tonight, so I won't take up too much of your time. But I just wanted to share one thing of the many things that I've learned over the past 5 years at Platteville. And the main thing is I learned how to slow down a little bit. As Ty said in his introduction, I was an alumni at one point, which is kind of crazy. And for those who know that story, you can maybe kind of see how this connects. And I won't tell that story here because that's a long one. But I've learned how to slow down. I've learned how to appreciate making memories with my brothers and with
is virtue. Yes, that's it.
Okay, and then next, I would like to invite up Ethan Shylock. Where are you at, Ethan?
All right, just want to start off saying I've never been one for public speaking, so we're just going to give this a shot. But this fraternity truly means the world to me. I came here and to college, and the only real thought in my mind was, okay, great. I'm going to leave with an engineering degree, and then I'm going to go, I don't know, make something. And I didn't really put any more thought into that when I first came here. And how much more there is to college than just getting your degree. The degree's important, that's why you're here. But it's everything else that you gain along the way, the friends, the experiences, the knowledge, the leadership, everything else that truly makes your college experience. And I don't think I would have either had the motivation myself or the thought that, hey, this is something I should reach out and do. And so I credit this fraternity and all of you out there for that. You really made my college experience. And whether it was, I just met you this year, or I've known you for a while, you all mean the most to me. Thank you. Next up, I'd like to welcome Parker Shelsky to the stage.
All right, so I'm also going to make this short. I can't express how much this organization has changed me in ways that I may never know. I will forever be grateful to everyone that was there for me along the way, and I will not forget what impact Sigma Phi Epsilon has made on me. I also never forget the memories that I made along the way. From the simple late nights spent at the house to going to play paintball for the whole day, or not playing paintball for the whole day, if Parker remembers. It doesn't matter. The most memorable memories that I will miss the most are last-minute trips, like taking a group of guys all in our suits to McDonald's to get some shakes. Although I'm graduating, I'm not going to be going anywhere, and I look forward to hearing all the achievements of the current and future undergraduates. Thank you for all the memories and lasting impacts you've made on me. Next, I would like to invite a graduating senior who was the past Vice President of Recruitment, the past Vice President of Programming, and he was also the Director of Basketball Affairs for the Platteville basketball team. He never ceases to amaze us with how much he's able to achieve, and I don't think that's going to change after graduation. Welcome, Will Foucault.
Thank you, Parker, for quite an introduction. Thinking throughout the year, or sitting here a year ago, I thought finding the right words to say would be easy. I found it very, very difficult, and the more I thought about it, the harder it was to find what I was going to say. But simply said, SigEp has been the biggest part of my college experience and has molded me in every way into the emerging professional adult friend that I am today. Something we're all told getting a bid is you get out of SigEp what you put in. I took that to heart and tried to maximize almost every opportunity I was able to, and I didn't regret one bit of it, and I recommend you do the same. My 2 terms as an exec member, like Parker mentioned, is when I fully dove into SigEp, and I fully dove into it, and almost every hour of every day was spent doing things and thinking things, and at the time, and my fiance Sydney would always refer to SigEp as my second girlfriend, which is only half a joke when she said it to me. Many times we get asked what do you want your legacy to be when you leave the university, and as much as we like to sit and think down and look back at what we've done, I know mine is going to be for things like ultimate anything, no bad ideas in cabinet meetings was very shortly changed to some ideas, and well, deep fry. Bittersweet is a cliche that I thought of a lot, looking back on graduation speeches, and no offense to any of you guys that put that in yours, but for me that is not the case at all. My 4 years here have been nothing short of amazing, don't get me wrong, and I wouldn't change a thing about them, but 4 years here and SigEp and everything accomplished, it just feels like the right time and to be moving on in my life, and I credit SigEp for preparing me for that.
But of course, I'm going to miss a lot of things in college. The biggest thing is to miss all of you guys, which I'm not really leaving behind in the first place. Thank you to our wonderful ABC for everything you've helped us out with. We truly do have one of the best group of alumni mentors in the country. Thank you to everyone that is currently in the chapter or has been in my short time. From black ball, white ball, nights in the basement, with the Pine Tree House, to late night adventures while camping, to being flown out to Richmond, Virginia, I couldn't have asked for better memories and brothers to share them with. Thank you to Sydney for being my biggest supporter throughout college. Even between SigEp and basketball, my Outlook calendar constantly stays booked. You've always been my rock, and thank you so much. Lastly, thank you to my parents for always supporting me wherever I've gone. Look, we're applying for a scholarship from Postcard in the Mail's got me now. Our next speaker has served as a Vice President of Communications, SigEp Learning Communities, and a current housing manager, most importantly is a co-star of an up-and-coming YouTube channel, Zach Donnelly.
Check the microphone first. Good evening, everyone. In early January, I realized I was going to have to give a senior speech. I wanted to be good, so I started typing right away. Here's what I had. I started writing the speech January 17th. The Word document stayed like that for the last 3 months. As I sat down earlier today to write my speech, I realized that I didn't know what I wanted to say. There's been so much that has happened, so many stories I want to tell, and so many people I want to thank. But that would honestly take a bit too long. I suppose I should start somewhere though, so why not a story from sophomore year? Over the summer, between freshman and sophomore year, I really got into snowboarding. So much so that I would go do snowboarding exercises in the basement of Roundtree. My roommates, Shyla, CJ, and Carter, would come down and watch me sometimes, and even help me record my weekly videos for my YouTube channel. Eventually winter came, and I went snowboarding nearly every week. I was having an absolute blast, at least until my birthday. I tried to fight a tree, as some may say, and lost. This resulted in a nice little trip where I got a cool metal rod in my leg. It was bad enough that I didn't even know if I was going to end up going to school the next semester. But thanks to my brothers, I managed to stay afloat. Thank you to Feltz, Weber, Shyla for FaceTiming me every Tuesday and Thursday to make sure I stayed up to date on modern physics classes. By the way, thanks to the Roundtree boys for putting up with the space coupe that semester. We named my wheelchair the Space Coupe, and we kept it in my bathroom the entire semester. After reminiscing on the rest of that semester and the rest of my college career, I realized that there's a pretty solid theme that was present in almost every one of my memories. That theme is brotherly love. One of our cardinal principles. Looking back, I've always been able to trust my brothers to help me when I needed a hand or when I needed someone to talk to, especially at 3 a.m. Whether it was the highs of seeing an eclipse or the lows of getting stuck in Nashville, I knew I could always have a good time with my brothers. That finally brings me to the last part of my speech, the thank yous. Thank you to all my brothers for making my college experience something that I will always cherish, always remember. Thank you for my roommates for putting up with my late night rants. But most importantly, thank you, Mom and Dad, for allowing me to come to college and join the fraternity. Thank you all. I love you. Next up is one of the smartest stock traders I know and one of the smartest sports bettors I know. Stop, it's hammer time. Please welcome Wyatt.
Thank you, Donnelly. I did not write a speech because I'm a procrastinator, but I just want to say thank you to every one of you. You all know how much you mean to me, each and every one of you. When I first got here my first semester, I had some family issues. Some of you know, some of you don't, but you guys really supported me through that. I was someone who didn't really want to get super involved on campus. I just wanted to go to my job, pay for college, and get through it. But all of you guys kind of pushed me to get more involved, so I joined things like UGC, SUFAC, became an RA, welcome weekend leader, and all that stuff is pretty fun. So I just appreciate all of you. Good luck to the alumni in the softball game tomorrow. You're really going to need it. So. Okay, pal. Okay. No, you will. But next up is the real Tim Hyam.
I'm sorry, man, but we all know that I am the real Tim. So as I thought about trying to write this speech, I went back to my notes and found something I actually wrote about 2 years ago that it felt still rang true today, that I felt like was really what I wanted to say, and it hasn't changed in 2 years. And that is that SigEp has been more than I ever could have expected it to be. Coming to college, I had zero interest in Greek life, and I had no idea how the college ride would even be, with COVID being a major issue as I came to Platteville. SigEp not only completely changed my perspective on Greek life, but it also has dramatically changed me. SigEp has given me opportunities to develop my knowledge in aspects I never expected, provide leadership opportunities to grow from, and surround me with great men that have high expectations and strive for excellence as I do myself. If it weren't for SigEp, I'd never be anywhere close to where I am within my relationships, leadership, knowledge, character, and graduation. The Brotherhood is unbelievably strong and a place that provides comfort and trust. SigEp has been outstanding to me in my time here, and I cannot wait to see what is yet in store going forward. Now, I could be up here and thank tons of you brothers, volunteers, faculty members, but a couple I'd like to point out is Whitehammer. Living with you freshman year, I remember we both got bid at the same time by Dawson and Hayden, and I was very much on the fence, didn't know really what to think. Why I decided to join SigEp, and I followed suit, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'd also like to thank Ubel. I don't know if he's in the crowd here today, but I remember getting on a Zoom call with him freshman year, him telling me about the ITM program, and I thank God that I am no longer a mechanical engineer. So, with that, I'm sure there's plenty of other thank yous, but we keep the night rolling. And I do really appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. So, to follow that up, we have the one and only Keith Martin.
Hi, everybody. I also did not prepare a speech today. So, when I first came to university, obviously, I never thought that I'd join a fraternity. Then I went to one event, and then right when I met everybody there, it just changed my whole perspective on fraternities. Everybody that I met there were just phenomenal men. I enjoyed every event that I've gone to, everybody I've met. I've made very strong relationships and very good memories. I'd just like to thank everybody here. Keep it short, but it's been an honor to be here. So thank you guys. Thank you for everything, and I wish everybody well in the future. Thank you. Next is Carter Forseth.
So Wyatt started off the trash talk, but little does he know that last night I stirred up way more trash talk with Kyle and Jesse, so I actually have something to back up. Like many of us here tonight, I started thinking about this speech in September when we first got on campus. there's no speech. So I really think that's because there's no words to describe my experience the last 3 years in SigEp. I have a funny little recruitment story. The first time I ever heard about SigEp Wisconsin Theta was the little mail-out cards that were advertising BMS, and I was like, ooh, fraternity recruitment. So I didn't actually apply for the BMS. As fate would have it, I was paired with Ethan Scheila as a roommate in Pickard, and he tells me, oh, I'm part of the Balanced Man Scholarship, and I'm thinking, no way. I wanted to avoid this. So he dragged me to an event, music trivia, where I first met Jason Rose. And for the next year, I was a little bit of a recruitment headache for Dawson and Hayden, but they got me eventually. After that, my life was a complete 180. It's taken me in so many directions I could have never foreseen. I was able to serve on our standards board, be VPR. The only thing I wanted to do as VPR was bring more young guys this experience. It changed my life in ways that weren't even imaginable. Ty was part of my recruitment class. He's a freshman and he's running this whole show. That is crazy to me. Now he's headed to Ruck. I did that as a outgoing junior. So what he's doing is insane, and I love watching what the rest of these young guys are doing as well. It's something else I wanted to say. I guess just thanking people. I got so many people to thank. I'm not going to sit here and list them all off. But to you young guys, for the future, do not forget to have fun. One of the things that Tom Barton told me 2 years ago that has stuck with me every day, ask yourself every single day, how great can you be? Just keep pushing that line and just keep having fun, keep loving each other. Thank you, everyone. Next up, as some of you know, I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I'd like to welcome up the one person from our fraternity who will actually talk to me about NASCAR in depth rather than on the surface level. That is our ABC president, Chris Jurgis.
All right, thank you, everyone. A couple housekeeping items before I deliver my brief remarks. Don't forget the silent auction closes at 9 o'clock Central. There are QR codes on your table, QR codes back there. Please bid. The money raised not only goes to support the Alumni and Volunteer Corporation and the scholarships that we give out, but also helps fund the Balanced Man Scholarship, which now we've given out almost over $40,000 in our chapter's existence to incoming freshman male to celebrate the principles and values that we believe in. So please consider supporting the auction. Earlier today, there was also a philanthropy event with a golf outing. Final numbers came in, and $1,500 was raised for JDRF. So congratulations, also, need to friendly reminder that the softball game, where the alumni will dominate the undergrads and put you in your place, will happen at 10 o'clock in the morning, bright and early at Legion Field. And after we get done with closing here, don't forget to stick around for group pictures, and we'll do the anthem. So, one of the things that I think is important about SigEp is we live in a time where there's a lot of things that try to pull us apart. Politically, there's echo chambers that have made this country very separated. And at least in my life, there's two main things that I love, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter who you voted for, it doesn't matter what your background is. And that is my love for Metallica and the friends that I had made in that world. Some of the most amazing people I've met through that group. In SigEp, I think is a very unique thing that we have going here, that our beliefs, our values, the oaths that we've taken, they supersede everything else. And we don't let the outside world, the noise, the people that try to put us in echo chambers, separate us, we don't let that get in the way. What matters most is SigEp, what matters most is this chapter, and advancing it forward to show what it looks like when you do fraternity right, and what it is capable of. So thank you for continuing to develop that culture and pushing it forward and passing that down on generation by generation. It takes a lot of people to support a chapter, and I wanted to recognize a few of those stakeholders. First off, if you're a parent, can you please stand up? Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for sharing your young men with us. When we look for new members, we not only look for people that we feel like we can help benefit, but we also look for people that we feel like will make us a better organization. And because of you and the values that you instilled in your young men, I can say confidently that we are a better organization today than we were before your son joined. So thank you. If you are a current ABC member, a mentor, support of the undergraduate chapter in any way, could you please stand? Currently, we have 52 members on the Alumni and Volunteer Corporation, 15 members who are on the board of directors, 2 people who are involved in the management of HFF properties. We have chapter counselor, we have 15 mentors, a balanced band steward, 4 faculty fellows, faculty advisor, 33 stakeholders in the housing capital campaign. All this to support the undergraduate chapter. We could not do what we do without you. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you and your continued mentorship of our undergraduate brothers. And keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Speaking of those 33 stakeholders, we currently sit at about $203,000 committed to building a brand new chapter facility. 11 guys that are graduating, as Martin will attest. I will come find you at some time, even if you are on a desert island. So be forewarned. For less than what you pay in chapter dues, you can join the housing stakeholders at the $2,500 level. It'll be less than what you pay in chapter dues per year. So be forewarned. Lastly, through all the great things that happened this year, we did have a big loss in our chapter, and that was the loss of Brother David Evans. For those of you who didn't know, David was a Renaissance brother. He was part of this campus for over 20 years, working with student government, student organizations, and in many ways was a second father to a lot of alumni. Every year in our Balanced Man Scholarship Awards, we would invite David to give a little speech, about a 4-minute speech that he called Watch the Stars. And some of the lines from that speech: you make a difference every day, every way. Learn how to say yes. Work with great passion and do great things. Be world famous. You do things differently when you want to be better than the best. Value time. Take long showers. Take long showers, especially when you're visiting your relatives. How you spend your time is the only true measure of the priorities you have in life. Be aware of your talents and give them freely. Education makes us free, and ignorance will cost us all. Try making no-fail fudge. It does fail. So do we, so do they. The greatest gift wrapped in failure is education. So what do I think of when I hear David say, watch the stars? Well, I'm not afraid to admit I'm still a nerd at heart. And to give a quote that your personal astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson likes to give when talking about the stars. It's the knowledge that the atoms that complete life on Earth, the atoms that make up the human body, are traceable to the crucibles that cooked light elements into heavy elements in their core, under extreme temperatures and pressures. These stars, the high mass ones among them, went unstable in their later years. They collapsed and then exploded, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy. Guts made of carbon and nitrogen, oxygen, and all the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients become part of a gas cloud that condense and collapse and form the next generations of solar systems. Stars with orbiting planets, and those planets now have the ingredients for life itself. So that when I look up at the night sky, and I know that, yes, we are a part of this universe. We are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of those facts, is that this universe is within us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up, and even though many people feel small, because they're small and the universe is big, but I feel big because my atoms came from those stars. So take a moment and look around. Look at the people in this room. Look at your fellow brothers. Look at your loved ones. And watch the stars. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Safe travels to all those who came far. Please remember the silent auction. And I thank you for coming to our 2024 Spring Banquet. Brothers, we will meet in the back and circle up for the anthem.
You need to get a pair of like knee pads or something for when you're sliding along the floor.
Oh, Jesse, it's a random man.